he went through. But we do have to pick up and hang in there when we go through some things that may be what we tend to call as difficult. But Christ went through some difficult things. And when he carried his cross, he all the way to Golgotha, all the way to the hill of Calvary, with whatever he went through, he carried his cross. Now God show us through the life of Jesus of what that may entail with us. We have a cross to carry too. But we don't have to hang on it to die, but we do have to sacrifice some things in our life when we carry our cross. Amen. And before I get ahead of myself, we want the crown before the cross. And you can't get the crown unless you carry your cross. We want the good things of salvation, but we don't want to go through the process of salvation. We want everything good that the cross has in it, but we don't want to carry our cross because we don't like to go through nothing. Hallelujah. And when we look at the possibilities of going through something, we drop our cross and we run. Because why? That's too heavy for me. I can't carry that. But don't you know, you have to carry your assignment. You can't get out of your assignment just because you don't want to carry your problem. And nine times out of 10, your problem is self-created. So you can't drop it when you create something because you can't get out of line of whatever God placed you to deal with to get you to where you have to go. I'm already preaching. But we must understand this one simple fact of life. We all got a cross that we have to carry. My cross may not be yours and yours may not be mine, but you got something that you probably don't like when it get hard that you want to throw it down and walk away. But how many of you know you got to go back and pick that up and you got to carry that with you because I am reminded that you're not carrying it by yourself. Oh, before I get into this, let me throw this one more thing at you to try to project your mind into an area where you are understanding what Jesus is saying. Now, Jesus said, pick up your cross and follow me. What is that saying? What's the spiritual implication of what he's saying? He didn't say pick up your cross and get behind me because you can't carry it behind. You got to pick it up and you got to follow him because he can help you carry your cross. He can help you carry your burdens. He can help you carry your load. He can help you get through your tough days. He can help you get through whatever you, but when you try to go before him, it's hard. You get frustrated. You know, when you go and enter into anything, you want it. You want to start celebrating before you finish. Can't celebrate before you finish because there may be some trials. Because anything good is not worth having. Not unless you don't go through something because you appreciate it more when you go through it. You don't appreciate nothing handed to you if you don't go through nothing. I don't want nothing handed to me without me knowing the severity of what it costs for me to get it. Oh Lord! When I go back some years ago, when I was entering school, I was excited about the degrees that they told me I was going to get. And there were days I didn't want to do my homework, but I wanted the degree. You can't get nothing without putting something in it. I know salvation is given to us, but you got to look at salvation. Salvation, Jesus had to die for us. Now, what makes us think you just gonna get that and then don't do nothing? Oh, I'm trying to get to the word. I'm trying to get there, but I want to paint this picture of what you got to go through. Christians, let me help you this morning. Quit thinking, and I said it in Sunday school, quit thinking that when you get saved, problem free. That's when they start. Yeah, that's when they start, because now you're trying to really walk this thing and think it's supposed to be fancy free. I don't know who told you that. And let me tell you something. Most people who you see who have persevered through something, they thought about it too quick. But it don't stop just because you quit. Problems don't stop because you quit. Problems don't stop because you pack your Bible. Problems don't stop because you quote a few scriptures. It don't stop. It just heats up a little bit. And I like it like this here because, see, if I was a mechanic, then mechanics don't have one socket and one ratchet. Mechanics have a toolbox. You got to know which tool to use when you're trying to fix something. Jesus knew that we're going to need some tools when we're trying to fix this thing called life. You don't just walk through this and figure you can't pick up what he gave you. See, many of us, we run and bump our head because we're trying to pick up the wrong tool. You cannot use no screwdriver on no Phillips screw. You need to use the right tool. You can't use no 316 on a 5/8. You got to use the right. You can't use God's word, mishandle it, trying to get out of a problem you created. You got to know how to use the right word at the right time. And that requires picking up your cross. All right. I'm excited because I dropped it a few times, but I picked it back up. That's why I'm standing where I'm standing right now. Because I dropped it and I said, I still got problems. I might as well keep this and walk with it because it will help me get through. Oh, Lord. Turn to Mark real quick. Book of Mark. I like Mark because Mark sits right in the middle. Mark sits in the middle of Matthew and Luke. Mark went straight to the point. Mark went straight to the point. Matthew and Luke, they borrowed from Mark. But Mark went straight to the point. Mark he didn't drop no hints. He just went straight to the point. And that's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to go straight to the point. Look at Mark chapter 8. And we're going to go to verse 34 through 38. We're going to read those verses. Well, we got to see why Jesus told. And he always talked to Peter a whole lot. How many Peters in here? I always want to follow him, but don't want to pick up no problems. I always holler about you love Jesus, but then when it get hard, you drop your cross. Just because you're the outspoken one, you're the one always hollering about how much you love God, and then when it comes to a problem, you run. You drop your cross. But Jesus had a word for Peter. Let's read this. Slow down, Pastor. Just because you got it, give it to me. In 34, chapter 8 of Mark, in 34, the Bible said, when he had called the people, I like that, called the people to himself with his disciples. So he just didn't call the disciples, he called some people too. So he just wasn't speaking to them 12. He was speaking to the crowd too. He's speaking to all of us this morning. Well, that's just for them pastors. No, it's for you too. Catch that. With his disciples also, he said to them, whomever desire to come after me. I'm not going to exegesis that tough to just stop at every word. But that's just the way I kind of teach and look at it. Because every word that got me want me to park right there. Desire. Oh, the Lord put a burden with that. Is that a desire? Or is that a burden? Oh, let me keep going. Let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whomever desires, that word again, desire to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel, look at that, my sake and the gospel will save it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? What are you selling out for? That's another sermon, but I won't go there. Verse 38. For whoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him the Son of Man will also be ashamed when he comes in his glory of his Father with holy angels. Stop right there. Now to get to verse 34, you may be seated. And if we look at a word or a subject to kind of hang on, to kind of bring back into our remembrance, either when we preach in the text or if we want to have thought to the text and just give, because many of us, when we hear a sermon, we like to marinate on that and then have something for the next 2 or 3 days to eat on. Because whenever I cook something, I overcook it. I'm not talking about burning. I overcook it where I can have something left over. Because if it was good, I want to go back and eat some more. See, I mean, and I love when I cook something, I cook extra. Because it's better to me today. When the word is good, it's even better the next day than it was the day that you heard it, if you ate it right. Now, we look at this and let's see, why did Jesus have to tell Peter to pick up his cross? And I like it how he called the disciples, and then he called some people too. He called 2 groups of people. He called the crowd, and then he called the disciples. Because there were many followers of Jesus Christ. And usually the crowd caught on quicker than the disciples. Follow me. Sometimes the crowd will catch on quicker than the ones who's close to him. He always had to explain to the disciples in a private manner, but the crowd that was hungry, they get it, and they go. But the disciples were the ones who just wanted to hang out just because of prestige, platform, or whatever it was. They wanted to stick close to Christ, not because they wanted to abide by what he said, but wanted to get what they thought he was getting. But they didn't want to go through them because they just wanted the prestige. They didn't want the cross. Slow down, preacher, because see, all they really was concerned about was how good they were going to look hanging with Jesus. They weren't concerned about how much they would have to suffer. And the text always talked about the 12, but you really didn't hear them talk about non-characters that didn't have no name. Because the ones that didn't have no names, when they got their healing, they ran with it. They was excited because they got theirs and they knew who did it. But the ones with him, they was always trying to get something from him, but he wasn't getting what he was teaching. Look at here, verse 31. Let's go up because we got to. If we don't go up, we'll miss 34. Now he's saying that we're talking about Jesus predicting his death and his resurrection. He's predicting to them he's getting ready to leave. He's getting ready to do what he came to this earth to do, his mission. He was getting ready, but Peter always would jump out in front. That's a message, isn't it? Always jump out in front. Don't know what's going on, but see, we like to pretend like we already know what's going on, and then, well, Jesus, I got it from here. Come to church, here 2 or 3 sermons, I got it from here. No, it's a journey, baby. It's a journey. You can start out good, but it's a journey. Because, see, every time you start out real good, a problem gonna hit you because you got too much into yourself. And you think it now, you know enough scripture to handle this walk. You don't know enough. Oh, I'm trying to walk this a little bit. Peter was always in the way instead of learning something. Jesus took him on Mount of Transfiguration. He was supposed to have been watching the glory of God. He was supposed to have been watching a messianic moment where Elijah and Moses appear, but his first thing, he get out here, you want me to build you something? You want me to do? Peter, you still missing what I'm talking. You still ready. And then he had to go tell him, Peter, you've been hanging with me. Who do they say that I am? How do you hang with somebody and don't know who they are? Too busy watching all the miracles, but not watching the man that performed the miracles. Not watching the same power that he was going to give them. But see, sometimes when you give somebody something, when they ain't ready for it, they going to mess up. Now let's look at this text. Let's walk through this. Verse 31. And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, the scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. 32. Here's Peter. Now remember, I told you, Peter was always the one. Apparently knew more than Jesus. How is it that you get saved for 2 or 3 days, and then you know more than Jesus? Just because you hung out with him, don't mean you know more than him. You got to stay in your place when you're following Jesus. Can I help somebody this morning? You got to get in your place when you're following Jesus. You can't get out your place. Now look, verse 32. He spoke this word openly. Then Peter took Jesus aside. Isn't that enough right there to make you just shake your head and say, now what? He took Jesus aside to rebuke him. The Bible said he took Jesus aside to rebuke him openly. But the humanity of Jesus called him out. The Bible said, then Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. I never rebuke Jesus. We do it every day. When he tells us stuff of what he getting ready to do in your life and you rebuke him. No, you just don't know me. You know, I've been watching you do this. I've been watching you. I've been to church long enough. I know how to do this. I've been watching you. God, I've been watching how to do this. I've read enough. I know how to do this now. I know how to cast out demons. Well, why they keep whooping you? Oh, I know how to do this here now, Lord. I've been with you. I've been reading my Bibles all the time, and I know how to do this. He said, well, why do you keep going through what you're going through? If you've been with me this long, why don't you know how to handle what you're handling? See, you can't get 2 days of Jesus and think you know more than Jesus just because you've been hanging out with him. Stop hanging out with him and get in fellowship with him. Stop just chilling with him and start letting him be your God, let him be your father, because he's not your friend. We want a friend to Jesus. A friend to Jesus. Oh, Lord, preach this. When he turned, this is Jesus, but when he turned around and looked at Peter, he rebuked Peter. Get behind me, Satan. For you are not mindful of the things of God, but the things of man. Now, Jesus rebuked Peter, calling him Satan, the tempter. Peter is the only figure in Mark whom Jesus addressed this way. Only one. The other 11, they stayed in their place. But it's always one church for a little bit, and then now want to know more than Jesus. I like how Jesus just quietly rebuked him. Satan, the tempter, who's tempting you to talk crazy? Now, Peter's the only figure in whom Jesus addressed this way. The impression is unmistakably by pulling Jesus aside, attempting to divert him from his ordained path that we all must travel. Now see, let me help you right quick. When you are focused on doing something for God, somebody will always come and try to divert you from doing what God called you to do because they don't understand your mission. See, you got some tempters in your life, if I can help you this morning. You got some people hanging in the cut, always trying to tell you why you go to church all the time, why you always praying all the time, why you need to pull them aside and rebuke them and say, I got a mission. Jesus didn't let Peter divert him. Why do we let people divert us? People make us drop our cross. People make us put it down. People, see, you got to forsake everything. When God gives you a mission, you got to stay concentrated. You got to stay focused on that mission. Not saying you're not going to have no problem, but see, you need to make sure you zoom in. The Bible said in Hebrews chapter 12 that Jesus is the author and the finisher of your faith. One who endured the cross, endured it, kept going, didn't let them stop there. See, I don't get diverted. I have some stuff come up and I just say, I shake it off and keep on going. Because see, sometimes you got to be watchful who's trying to make you get out of what God told you to stay in. Everybody not trying to praise you. Everybody not trying to pump you up. People are trying to get you to quit. You got to recognize sometimes everybody not in your amen corner. Everybody's not. See, all they're trying to do sometimes is get you to throw in the towel. And 9 times out of 10, when you throw it in, they're not going to hang with you once you quit. They off to the next one. They ain't gonna hang with you when they get you out of church, they come ready to go to the next one. Because they're on a mission. See, let me help you for your church theology. See, we think it's just church. No, it's about you picking up your cross, following Jesus. It's about the sanctification of the salvation that he gave you because we all got to give an account to God. Oh, hurry up, preacher. I'm going to use my time wisely. See, Peter was trying to divert. Jesus already told him. I'm going to use our language. Say, man, I got to go to Calvary for you. Why you talking crazy? Your mind ain't even on the heavens. Your mind is on these earthly things. Say, man, I'm zoomed in. Come on, you give this Bible study. Like, no, I can't. No, I can't miss that because you don't know I'm supposed to say I'm a quit. I got to go tonight. Say, you know how you said you laying out prostrate before the God. For the God you serve, and your phone ring. And instead of you letting the phone ring, you get up and you go answer the phone. Divert you. See, hey, look here, what you doing? I'm studying. Well, wait a minute. Let me catch this call right quick. Sometimes let that phone ring because they don't want nothing. They just trying to divert you, trying to throw you off track. Hey, you want to go out tonight? Go out. Wow, you go with me if I go with you? Okay, I'm going to go with you, but I'm going to spoil your party. Because, see, when I go with you, I hope my light so shine that they may see my good works, that they may change their mind about inviting me the next time. See, I don't get invited to nothing. No, they won't invite me. It ain't that I will go spoil your party, but it's the God going on. They called Pastor Cade. Well, I really wasn't trying to invite the pastor. All the pastor gonna do is start talking scripture. I ain't gonna say nothing. Because he speak before me. I don't have to say nothing. I don't walk around in that. I just walk. I walk behind him. I don't have to head over because he's there. I don't have to do all that. I just walk. And I let God do the talking. I don't have to say a word. I don't have to put on nothing. I put him on. And all I do is walk into the place and they say, well, there's something different about you. Thank you for acknowledging him first. But you got some Peters that'll tell you and try to stop you. Jesus had a plan. Peter, he was arrogant in himself. He thought he had authority that wasn't given to him to talk to the Lord like that. Now, it didn't say he was talking to people. It said he talked to Jesus like that. It said he tried to rebuke Jesus. Jesus put him in his place, didn't he? Get behind me, Satan. Why are you calling me Satan? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the tempter that's in you. See, because people get mad and call him a demon. Peter didn't get mad right there because he knew who was tempting him. See, sometimes we're not mad at Jesus. Never, when he delivered somebody, he never told them to go away. He told that demon to leave. And we sometimes, because if you're strong enough, we can talk to that demon in you. You can take it. Preach that, preacher. You can take it. Because if it is a demon, you ain't going to be glad that you're out of it. Sometimes when they say, well, you know, that cussing demon, yeah, it is a cussing demon, but it's in you. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring that cursing out of you. Yeah, there's that lust inside of you. Well, we're going to bring the lust out of you. Because we're going to call it out, and if it's present, it's going to come out. It ain't going to hurt you. It's just going to hurt the one that's in you. Jesus didn't hurt Peter. He just hurt the one that was trying to control Peter because he saw how much he needed Peter to go do his work. See, sometimes quit getting mad when we call it out. Jesus said, I'm not mad at you, Peter. I'm just mad at the one that's trying to divert my mission. Yeah, I'm going anyway. Yeah, I'm going to keep on following him. Yeah, just because you don't like it, Peter, right now, because he got into you, Peter, I won't let you get into me. In other words. Now, to see what was wrong with Peter, he had his mind on earthly stuff. He didn't have his mind on heavenly things. Now, Peter was arrogant to himself. And authority he does not hold. And unknowingly he aligned himself with the satanic forces by setting his mind not on divine things, but on human things. I'm going to go and tell Jesus that he don't know what he's talking about. Jesus knew his mission. Do you know yours? Peter knew what he thought he was doing. He thought it was about an earthly mission without a heavenly assignment. See, Jesus knew his heavenly assignment with an earthly purpose. We get it backwards. See, you got to know your heavenly assignment, then that way you know how to faithfully carry it out on earth. Jesus got his instructions from the Father, then he came to earth and he executed what he had to do while he was on earth, because he didn't let nothing stop him. Who's calling you sometimes to where you keep changing your direction of your plan? You stick to God's plan and you won't get sidetracked if you stick to his plan. Jesus stuck to his plan from when he came down here to when he finished. I airplane change every 30 days. I don't know. I think God want me to do this. Well, I don't know. I think God stick to the plan. I'm on my same mission that God gave me when He called me. I have not diverted to nothing else. I just stay focused because, see, if I listen to Him, then He will order my steps. The Bible said that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. I don't change my mind every 2 or 3 days. I want to take off this coat. We got to stop changing our mind every time it don't look right for you. It ain't about you.
Come on. Ain't about you.
If you know your mission and if you don't know what to do next, wait on the Lord. The Bible says He'll renew your strength. If you get tired, just wait on it. Don't move to the other side. Ooh, I'm pushing too hard here. Look, Peter's only recourse is to get, listen, Jesus said, get behind me. Now, why did He say get behind me? Because I guess He said follow me. Exactly. You can't follow Him in front of Him. All right. We keep trying to follow God by getting in front of Him. You don't know where to go if you're not behind Him. If you get behind Him, you get behind His work, you get behind His mission, you get behind everything. Because, see, you can't follow God in front of Him because you don't know where you're going. But if you get behind Him, you'll know where you're going. Jesus never told them, get in front of me, and I'm going to follow you. That's good. Thank you, Jesus. Peter, get behind. And why he had to tell Peter to get behind? Because Peter stayed behind. If you try to get in front of me, you're gonna catch every satanic force. Because because the thing about it with Satan, see, he has some power, but it's unlimited. If you get behind God, see, God behind the blood, He can't come behind the blood. But if you want to get in front of the blood, you're gonna get every attack. You feeling everything, but behind the blood, He won't hurt you. He might bother you, but when you get out in front of Jesus, you feel everything. Everybody watching me, all this stuff going on. I can't stand all this. Oh Lord, get behind them. You won't see that stuff. All you're focusing on is your pain. That's why when I'm walking with Him, I'm behind Him. Because Jesus is scoping. He already looking at stuff out. But if I get, let me see God. You better quit trying to see everything He ain't told you to look at yet. Come here, Minister Mayfield. See, I got to give you a visual illustration sometimes too, because some of us miss this. See, now, and I'm going to just say this, sometimes, you can walk behind somebody, they get the brunt of what you're getting ready to deal with. And then, at times, they get hit with everything. And you just stand back glad that wasn't me. Oh, Lord, I'm so glad I don't have to go through none of that. Oh, God, look at them. Oh, Lord, why they get to go through all that? But see, let me tell you something. Jesus get in front. And when you ready to go through something, Jesus say, I am. And Jesus say, I'll lead you. I'll guide you. I'll fight your battles for you. And He said, devil, you can't touch this one. You cannot do nothing to them because I have covered them in my blood. So whatever your assignment is that you had for them, get behind, get in line. But when you out front, everything hits you. I'm just tired of all this stuff here. This stuff just makes me sick. Oh, Lord, I can't help. I told you to get behind me. But since you want to get in front of me, get hit. Get hit. If you don't want to listen to my word, get hit. If you can't handle what I'm saying, get hit. me. You had 9 scriptures and you think you ready. Don't you know I had to kick him out of heaven because he didn't listen? Now you ready. Now you want to walk in front of me because you've been in church 50 years. Don't you know that he is the enemy of your soul? Don't you know that he comes to kill, steal, and destroy? But I have defeated him. That's why I said, get behind me. I'll fight your battles for you. You can't handle him. Jesus said it in another way. Get behind me, hard-headed Peter. Your head is hard. Every time we have a good day, oh, I'm just anointed. You're anointed for your battle. Y'all know Peter. Let me hear you. Peter thought he had it together. Telling Jesus what to do. How do we come to this point, Minister Sean, where now we're telling Jesus what to do? We walk with him a little while now, we know more than Jesus. Why Peter didn't see Satan? Why you can't see him? You gotta have the eyes of God to see him. You're looking at people. You're watching people. Jesus watched the spirit behind people. He watching the spirit behind people. You're busy watching somebody else. They just trying to divert you. Get your eyes off of them. Put your mind on heavenly things, and you'll quit worrying about this earthly stuff. All they do is get you sidetracked. Now you can't even do your mission. He said, whoever desires to come after me. Oh, I can go a different place with that. I go to Timothy chapter 3. He said, anyone desiring the office of a bishop. Sometimes you can want something you ain't been called to. All that is a desire. Because if you call to it, you're going to have to go through it. Oh, I ain't talking to nobody this morning. Because see, when you enlist yourself into something you weren't called to, stay in it so he can develop you. Because see, just because you wanted it don't mean you're ready for it. Yeah, do your word study on desire whenever you have time. Whoever desires to come after me, let him desire himself. Now, these 3 quick things I need to share with you before I go. I know I haven't said a whole lot, but remember this. Now, when we see in the text that Peter got sidetracked and wanted to go ahead of Jesus, there were 3 things that he was requiring that he had to do. The first one was he had to deny himself. When you follow Jesus, you got to deny you. You got to deny yourself. Now, one of my biggest problems that we face is self-denial. You know what I'm saying? This is just the way I am. Yeah, that is true, because he called you just the way that you were. But now he want to change you. He can't change you with you in the way. I was just raised like this. Well, then let him raise you. No, I ain't no good English this morning. But see, here's the thing. When you got to deny yourself. What you used to do wasn't working for you. What you used to do, it ain't have that panting out. It ain't going out good. Because every time you want to go off, you go off. That ain't working for you. You say, they just don't know me. They do know you. They do know you. That's who they messing with. They messing with that character that you haven't let God change. See, they ain't really bothering you. They just been studying you. They know what ticked you off. They know what poking you. See, they know how to make you mad. They know how to see. See, let me tell you, a person with pride, all you got to do is not allow them to do something. And you can catch it right there. Who do they think they are? Many of us can't get promotions because they say their job, they don't understand me. Your intentions was going on the job to get promoted. But you can't get promoted when you are in the way. Jesus wants you to be promoted, but not with your attitude. Peter had an attitude. Jesus did want to use Peter, but Peter had an attitude. Peter was plain spoken. He was always, and God loved that about Peter. He had energy to curse people out. Y'all don't want to pray with me this morning. Peter had attitude to cut people ear off. People always go off on people, but this time he went off on the wrong one. You gotta watch who you going off of sometimes. You just can't go off on everybody, because sometimes God may put somebody in there to correct you, and you going off on your progress. Now look. To deny yourself, Romans chapter 12, let's say this real quick. Romans chapter 12, to deny yourself means that I beseech you, Paul said this, I beseech you, therefore, my brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. You got to do that. God changed me. He's been trying to. But you didn't want him to. Because you like you. And we talk about this in in-house ministry. Sometimes you need to go into your closet, throw away stuff that don't fit you no more. You are a child of God. Arguing at people don't fit you no more. Hating people don't fit you no more. Not liking people don't fit you no more. Going off on people don't fit you. Some stuff you gotta trash it, burn it, throw it away because it don't fit you no more. Still trying to put on that bathing suit from the first grade, and now you're 60 and you want to put that on. Me trying to put on that leisure suit that you had on in the 8th grade, and that leisure suit don't fit you no more. Just because you think it look good, oh, help me, I'm trying to bring you somewhere. Just because you think stuff look good to you, it don't look good as a child of God. It don't look good when you represent Jesus. It don't look good as you hanging out in places that don't bring God glory. It don't look good in the eyes of God. Deny yourself. This ain't about you. It was about you when he saved you. Now you want it to be about you now. Get behind me, Satan. What he told Peter, get behind me. Now, listen. Jesus said we must deny ourselves. Simply put, it means that we must deny ourselves, our sinfulness, our worldliness, our fleshly desires, our thoughts, and our lustful thinking. You got to deny yourself. You got to do that. I don't know why I'm thinking about all this stuff. You do know why you're thinking about it, because you ain't got rid of it. And all Satan do is just let that dress walk past you. You sitting there thinking about a man, Satan gonna make one appear. And then when you sit there and think about it hard enough, he make you, do you want that? He ain't gonna bring you nothing you don't want. You say, I'm glad I don't do drugs. He ain't gonna bring you no drugs. Oh, I'm glad I don't do this. He ain't gonna bring you that. He's going to bring you what you desire. And when he desired, you're going to look at it. And that's how Satan will just drop it off and you're going to walk away. And then he go, oh, okay, I knew it. I knew if I just dropped it off, you're going to want it. Now, I told you, don't talk to it, don't look at it, don't touch it, and now you having conversations with it. Don't you know you ain't strong enough to have no conversation that God delivered you from? And now you sitting there trying to hold a conversation with something you really want? Your desires are so strong. God don't take away your desire. Come on now. He gave you desire, but he gave you godly desire. You still have a desire to want stuff. Take that away from me. For what? If I take it away from you, all you're going to do is go get it back. That's why when I told in Sodom and Gomorrah, when I told Lot, now don't look back. Y'all need to quit looking back. We need to quit looking back. Certain things God burn up and you just go get it. We do all the rubbish and the ashes and we stuff right back up. When God burn it up and you go back and get it, and you see when something on fire that God trying to kill, you gonna stomp it out. Okay. No, I know what God said. Then you bring that burn up man home. You bring that burn up woman home. You bring that burn up drug home. You bring that burn up car home. You bring up burn up stuff that he want to give you something better, but he can't give you nothing better because he keep bringing on burn up stuff. Somebody say deny yourself. Somebody say God got something better for me. Those who wait upon the Lord, he'll renew your strength. He'll let you mount up like wings of an eagle. He'll allow you to fly. But you can't fly if you carry too much stuff. Take up your cross. Take up your cross. Next thing, take up your cross. Take up. He said you must take up his cross and follow me daily. What does that mean, take up your cross? What does bearing your cross mean? Take up your cross means that you are willing to put to death your own will. Not my will, Lord, but let your will be done. You have a will to want to do something, but God knows that your will is bad. Your will ain't good. See, that's why you need to get out your car, get out from under the driver's seat, and let the Lord drive. Give the Lord the wheel, because your will ain't good. You know where your will been taking you. You got to surrender yourself to his will according to his word. In other words, die to yourself is a call to absolutely surrender your life to Christ. He ain't going to force you. Y'all know how I always say, I wish I could quit drinking. I wish God stopped me. He didn't start you. Lord, take that away from me. Who gave that to you? The Lord didn't. This smoking is killing me. Yes, it is. This man gonna be the life of me. That's right. And this girl breaking me. You knew that when you got with her. You thought taking her to the mall every day was gonna stop. No, when you took her to the mall the first day, you took her to the mall the second day. You gotta take her to the mall long as you gotta. Don't stop taking her to the mall because the money is funny.
That's right.
See, because if you set her up like that, then you keep her
right.
like that. But you do it all in the glory of God. You don't do it if it's not gonna bring him glory. See, we gotta stop sitting up there blaming God for stuff we did, and now we asking God to stop it. God, I didn't start none of this mess, but I can't give you power if you surrender. He said, whoever done so desire to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel will save it. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? I want it all. I want to enjoy myself. See, we clap to the wrong thing. I want to enjoy myself. And you have been. And how's that going for you? You've been enjoying yourself, and where have that been taking you? You've been enjoying yourself. You've been having a good time, but it hadn't lasted. I want the everlasting love of Jesus Christ, and I can enjoy myself. See, I can enjoy myself when I don't have nothing. I can enjoy myself when ain't nothing going right. I can enjoy myself when I have lost everything. I know how to give him praise when I'm up. I can give him praise when I'm down. Because see, once you learn that the joy is my joy, my peace coming from the Lord. It don't come from the world, but that's going to disappoint you. I've been disappointed. And I know what that feel like. Told you when I used to get high, I spent up my whole check. It was fun. I don't know about that. This is not your testimony. If you don't supposed to know about my testimony, all you do is see my testimony. See, when I was getting high, I spent on my whole check. I would go out and have a good time. The next morning, I'm mad because I'm broke. Who I'm mad at? I'm mad at me. That was my problem being foolish. And I said, oh, Lord, you just bless me with some more money for what? You don't know how to have money. If I give it to you, you ain't going to do the right. Quit praying for money when you can't even bless him with $1 that you got there. That's another story. Oh, if I had a bunch of money, I'd get a Lord. You ain't giving them nothing with what you got now. Yeah, I'm rich. I can't wait till I get a whole bunch of money. I'm paying all my time, all of them. Learn with one first. Start with one. Honor God with one right now. Just start with what He give you now. And maybe you can go a little further if you start right here. Back then, when I was sitting in Baptist church, my mother used to give me $1. That was my dollar. Go to church, go walk past the plate and thump it. But we do that today. We have money in our pocket. We just thump it. And then have the audacity to go home and say, Lord, you know what I need. And He said, yep, you need to keep being broke. Because you haven't learned how to bless the Lord at all times. You haven't learned how to give unto the Lord. But if I give you all that, God still got your PIN number to your account. And all He do is He make you go to your check account and get money out and bless Him. Instead of going to that account and blessing God, we go to our account and we bless Satan and we come in and we beg from God. God said, why you beg from me when I've given you everything you need? Yeah. But now when it comes to me, you're broke. Yeah. Can't wait to payday the next time when I get paid again. Let me move on from that. Somebody with me till I start talking about money. Get behind me, Satan. He said, now I told you, pick up the cross that you must deny yourself. Now Jesus said, take up your cross and follow me daily, which means being willing to die. To follow Jesus, you got to give your life to Jesus. And the third thing, when He said, get behind Him. As I close, get behind Him. Verse 38, get behind Him, for whoever is ashamed of me. Why are you ashamed of Him? You know what we say, I ain't ashamed of Jesus. Well, you don't talk about Him when you're around your crowd. Is it safe to say this? Because if you talk about Him when you're around your crowd ain't gonna want you around them. You don't want to talk about them at that party, do you? And you don't want to talk about them at that motel, do you? You don't want to talk about it when you're out there getting high, do you? You don't want to talk about it when you're doing what you're doing, do you? Maybe if you talk about it, you'll stop doing what you're doing. But maybe if you just talk a little bit more about it, maybe he'll give you what you want. Maybe if you start saying Jesus more, maybe if you start just obeying him more, maybe if you start following him more, maybe you start loving him more. See, don't be ashamed of him and just talk about him in church. We don't want to hear about him up here. He want to be talked about outside of there. He want to be talked about everywhere you go. Just don't hold him hostage here. I ain't gonna say that when I get out there. I don't want them to know I'm a closet saint. Now let me ask you this question. Do people know that you can go to church? Yes. Let me hear you. Isn't that amazing? Some people say, I don't know you go to church. What? You gotta be kidding me. Have you ever shocked somebody up? What? Go to church. Why? You kidding me? In the finest place at the Ashes in the club, you go, why? Yeah, I go to church all the time. Well, Jesus must don't know you if you're in here. Because he said, don't be ashamed of me. I'm going to carry it wherever I go. And I don't care who know about it. You know, I used to work at this place and they told me, you can't say Jesus in here. And I said, I don't need to work here again. What you mean I can't talk about him? He saved my life. What you mean I can't talk about him? He delivered me. What you mean I can't talk about him? He healed my body. What you mean you can't talk about him? He saved my life. What you mean I can't talk about him? I'm not ashamed of him. Oh, here come that holy roller. You so right, I'm rolling too. I'm rolling in all this holiness. Are you sure right? I am. Whoever, he said in this adulterous, sinful generation. See, this sinful happening of him, the Son of Man, also would be ashamed of me. My God. You know, he say, depart from me. I never knew you. You didn't acknowledge me. So why you wanted me to acknowledge you? You didn't talk about me. So why you want me to talk about you when my Father come in his glory with the angels that's going to come with him? Why you want me to be talking? I don't know you. The whole time I say you didn't even acknowledge me till you got in trouble. You didn't acknowledge me till you wanted me to do something for you. You didn't acknowledge me till you got sick. You didn't acknowledge me till you needed some money. You didn't acknowledge me when you get the point. So you got to talk about him all the time. And it don't make no difference what group I'm in, I'm going to still talk about Jesus. I don't care where I go, I'm going to say his name. I don't care where I go, I'm going to still honor him. Because why? I can't put Jesus on their clothes until they leave. Get out of here, Lord. I got some company coming over. I'm closing, you can see. What is the takeaway? What is the takeaway? You got to pick up your cross. You got to follow him. You got to love the Lord. You're going to be talked about. Are you willing to follow Jesus if it means losing your reputation? Are you going to follow Jesus if it means losing your job? Are you going to follow Jesus if it means losing your friends, your family, everybody? He comes first and he'll restore in your life. Everything that you had to lose, he'll give that back to you. We got to get to the point that we're not ashamed of the gospel. I don't care who talks about me, because you know what? I've been talked about. When I tell somebody, when you tell my story, hold on. Let me tell you. I'm going to leave some stuff out. I can tell my story. I know what he brought me through. And I can tell my story right down to the point of everything. And I'm not ashamed. I don't glorify my past life. I don't glorify that. So if you think I'm going to tell my story every time you meet, well, tell me what all you done. I don't have to keep telling that. I've been forgiven. I don't walk around in guilt. Therefore, there's no condemnation. I'm not going to let you condemn me, and I'm not going to condemn myself, because I don't walk in that. God is good. Come on, let's give my hand clap of praise. The takeaway, my reward is worth my price. My reward that God's going to give me. In other words, I want God to be honored in my life. And guess what? I have to carry my cross before I get my crown. I have to carry it. I just don't get it because I got saved and then I'm going to automatic shoe in. That's what some of us think. But we'll go join church. Well, I'm in. Done with that. No. You didn't have to do anything to get salvation. Jesus did. That was a gift. But you do have to live a life according to his glory and according to his will. You just can't get saved and just run around here thinking that, well, I'm in. Choose. Glad that's out the way. Many would say on that day, Lord, Lord, didn't I do all these things in your name? He said, yep, cast out demons. Yep, you did all this, but depart from me. I never knew you. You were part of the club. You wasn't a part of the adoption. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray today, even though Peter made so many mistakes, but when he finally got it, Jesus, he even denied you. He even ran from you. He even said that he'll be there to the end. But when he finally got it, Lord, he became one of the greatest apostles to witness you. And I pray today, Father, that out of all the denying we have done, all the running we have done, many times we tried to step before you, Lord. I pray that you help us all this morning to stay behind you, God, to pick up our cross and follow you daily. That you will enrich us with your holy word, that you will open our eyes that we'll see, God, that we'll not allow anything to divert us from our mission, that we'll stay focused on what you called us to do. Father, I pray this morning that there's someone who don't know Jesus Christ as